dropped off the radar, laid low for a while.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the drafting phase for game number 1.
The PG example, the politically correct example or explanation for where he's been is he's been climbing ranked a lot. He's had to climb ranked a lot on different accounts.
It's almost like his livelihood depends on it.
It does.
So he hasn't experienced what it feels like to be on stage for quite some time as well. And I think that does play a factor. The mentality of the player, just how he's able to play as a team as well. We're going to see if it actually bodes success for the team or not, and whether or not they have enough preparation to get into it, because we're going straight into the drafts. It's expanding rivers for game number 1 between Geek Fam and TLID. We have Phovius Barat's band on one side, and we have the Marcel and Atlas band on the other. Kirara has actually also been banned out.
Damn, are they going to go straight for the Fanny? Is that what they're trying to go for? Nazara, last season it was a heated debate on whether or not his Fanny is good. There were a lot of streamers questioning him, and then he popped off. So, do they really want to go for Fanny first pick?
I mean, your favorite's still available. The Melissa is on the table.
That's true. You know what? Melissa first, except for a Fanny. The Bellerin gets banned out, so this should just be a Melissa for Kennzzy. Should. Unless they just don't care and they'll go Fanny either way. But that's crazy.
Is it so crazy that it might just work, though?
Erpang, you've got the vision. Someone check if he's got his glasses on.
You might have lost him in the mountains.
What?
He's been outdoors quite a while.
Oh, yes.
With AudyTzy.
With AudyTzy, yes.
He's just climbing.
Oh! Okay, Freya's actually been left open here, ladies and gentlemen, and Freya is going to be picked up here by Geek Fam. Good flex. TLID, do they go for the Melissa? There goes the Melissa, and then the Paquito as well. I think very strong 2 picks for TL.
Man, this is a dangerous proposition, man. The Prio Melissa with the Flex Paquito. The Freya, man, I think it's not bad, but is it really first pick worthy against a Melissa? I'm wondering if there's any particular lane context here that makes them that confident in the Freya. Is it even Flex at this point?
Yeah, Golden XP can still be played in both roles, so we'll see about Geek Fam as to how they play it. It was also very prio on MSC. We did see a big drop in pick rates for GOTF, but it's mainly because there's been a lot of bans toward it. So Geek Fam, I think now you go for the Fanny here. It should just be the Harley pickup, but no! They instead go for the Nolan, and already this is a very different approach. Usually would like to have a Nolan together with Baratz or a prio hero like a Uranus for tempo, then you build it up with the Selena so you can burst these neutral objectives. This is more of a burst combo without real lockdown.
I guess that's why they're hiding their lockdown just a little bit. Car control would be so good against a Paquito as well, and it's almost necessary to try and deal with a Melissa at any level. The Uranus comes in, though, usually used to kind of deny a lane against the Baratz. Now that it's picked up by TLID here, do they want to try and get like the prio advantage here and go for invades onto this Nolan?
That's definitely possible, which means that they have to set up for their mid trio a little bit active here, especially now that we're getting into the second phase of the draft. So the next 2 bans, do you think they're going to go for heroes that clear lane fast?
I think lane clear is definitely a big deal here. But I think it's more important for the side of Geek Fam, because if they don't have any real clear here, they're going to be out-rotated like quite severely. And then the whole pick-off threat just becomes that much less impactful.
Geek Fam really need to be careful here. They have to ban out the Rafaela. Really seems like that's what Honjaw was going to go for here. Just a sustained composition, playing for the hyper carry and the Melissa. And then I think it's just good to ban out another mid laner against a Eudora. Some range, taking it out would be great. Someone that can play safe in the back line. The Juicin gets banned out. Someone that can technically just sustain through some of the burst with the Brave Smite and also Crimson Beacon. But remember, Rafaela seems to be ignored still by Erpang. The glue ban is great if Honjaw wants to set up for this Paquito. Get in the jungle, it is still very vulnerable to something like a glue.
Man, it's going to be another mid lane angle, because I think
they have to ban Raf, I think.
Exactly. Again, the wave clear, the sustain, the rotational speed, all things that can really shut down their game plan.
Especially if they want to play early game, and as we know, early game is ever as important in this current meta. If, let's say, the Rafaela does get open, I think Lilia is also an option if they want to try and alleviate that mid lane pressure, the clear.
When you gaze
Selena.
into the abyss,
Selena's the answer.
Yeah, and I don't really like it. Doesn't really feel like it fits the composition anyways, right? I mean, sure, they could just burst down these neutral objectives, and that's what Erpang wants for his team. But I don't know, it just feels like a very weird two bans. It should just be a free Rafaela for TLID. So Erpang probably has an answer to it, unless it's just him completely blanking out. No way, I don't believe it. My goat would never.
It can't be. Well, again, with the two mid lane bans, it seems to me like he wants to make sure that the Eudora doesn't really get pressured too hard, and leads me to believe that maybe they're going for a roamer that doesn't really have too much wave clear. You know, that might allow the Selena and Sushi to bully him. Minotaur.
I mean, with, you know, Atlas banned out, Belleric banned out, I think Minotaur also serves its purpose if they want to go for fast clear.
It's pretty decent. And good crowd control against the shorter range coming in from the Eudora, the dive of the Freya and Nolan as well. Looking pretty solid. Now for Geek, do they want to get something that helps with the pickoff? Do they want to get something to help with the team fights? Because I think team fight-wise, it's really a tough situation to deal with a Minotaur Melissa.
What does AudyTzy want to play in this meta is my question. Because both his signature heroes aren't meta. Does he go for something a little safer? Oh, they go for it still.
No way.
He goes for his signature Kaja after the revamp. AoE as well. There is a slight a moment where you can kind of dodge it, but I want to know if it actually works in this meta. And they top it off with a Brody. What do we think about the Brody?
This is just crazy. They are putting all their cards on early game. This is a massive gamble for Erpang and Geek fam.
And the early ganks have to be so successful here for Keven, because otherwise the mid game can look a bit rough. The Kaja into the Melissa into the Kaja, though, Mirka, you can speak on this. It's not exactly a hard counter. It is annoying though, right?
What? Who?
The Melissa into the Kaja.
Yeah. Oh god, they got Navaria as well. This really feels like a TLID draft. I really feel like TLID have done a good job drafting here, and for Geek fam, they really have to be clean early game.
Yeah, man, the rotations in the mid lane at least, it's gonna be so easy for TL. The Minotaur doesn't even have to help with the clearing. The Nova alone can clear so easily, and in the team fights, the Paquito and the Minotaur, that's a lot of crowd control that they have to kind of think about before going in for Geek fam.
And Minotaur can still use the ultimate while being chained in the Divine Judgment, so it's literally a way for the Kaja to pull the Minotaur CC into the rest of the team.
So the counter engages there.
This is a very dangerous draft. Chahyo, Bimo, Megan Toro in the chat has said, I'm disappointed.
So, will it be worth it? It's a risky draft, but will it be worth it? Again, early on in the season, to get you games under your belt, to get you wins in matches. It pulls you forward when it comes down to mentality and confidence for the team, for how things will go for the rest of the season. So let's see how game number 1 will fare, ladies and gentlemen, between Geek fam and TLID. Best of 3 into the Land of Dawn.
There we go, man. Let's see if the early game can pay out for Geek fam. Already, they're making aggressive moves here. Marcel fooling Aran just a little bit. But in the mid lane, though, a boy. Whoa.
He's not low. Extremely low. Oh, wait a second, Lyoni.
Marcel?
He'll be able to get up, but Marcel dives in.
Under turret, first blood, just all the tempo to win it out. Marcel with a cut and a... Oh, Han, they might actually be cooking, though. This early game's kind of crazy. Good Star Shatter to prevent more from being taken away from Keven the Jote's jungle.
Technically, it's a bit of a leash as well from Drichel, though. Looking at the emblems here, a lot of agility and Wilderness Blessings. We can see the intention from both teams to rotate around. Bargain Hunter for Keven, though, on the Melissa. Keven. I mean, against the Brody, I guess he believes the team will be able to rotate fast enough, or he believes so much in that quote-unquote advantageous matchup, even though it's a bit of a skill matchup.
Yeah, you can also really see that experience there up top, man. Keven trying to go for the trades against the Brody instead of just fast hitting. That's why he has to use the regen early, and that means free gold grab to the Brody. Great Star Shatter! A knockup from Lyoni and Keven with the burst.
That was one of the reasons why I've been wondering where the Novaria has been. Wait a second, we do see some trades happening again in the gold lane, and it looks like that's gonna force a recall out of Keven.
He's getting gapped by Kenzie right now.
Yeah, it's a tough time, it seems like. And honestly, the early game burst coming in from TLID, that's why it's a bit scary, really, because not a lot of mages have the same kind of burst that Novaria has. Oh, look at this, though.
Parts of the zoning, Keven walking up, the Ventus coming down the red now as Nazara just goes for the Retribution, finds it, and now it's TLID. Late to the rotation again. Aran was able to stop Torn Apart Memory over on Keven, and yes, this is how it looks like. Whoa, Kevin's dead. Nazara's gonna jump, boom, bang! Even the Purify, they bait it out, and now they get everything for the Brody. This is phenomenal for Geek Fam.
We talked about a risky draft from Geek Fam here in game number 1, and it looks like it's paying dividends to them. The way that they've been playing, they've been able to capitalize over the mistakes coming in from TLID.
Oh,
Divine
that guy pulled him all the way back. AudyTzy. That's not a whip, that's more like a bow.
The fact that he survived that, that's quite interesting, but it's only going to get more difficult from here. It's only 3 minutes in, right? And Geek Fam already are showing great control, great macro movements as well for the rotations. So again, now the extra crop control, the extra CC they have will allow them to actually snowball even harder. That's a Sky Piercer coming in for Kenzie as well.
This is a lore-accurate Novara, and that is not praise. She's useless. So far.
To talk about Snowball, right? With a Sky Pierce on KennzyySkie, Freya as well, being able to get a kill over the first item already built up as well. It's looking quite good for Geek Fam, a 2,000 gold lead, and we talked about how important early game is, and with the draft that they built in, TLID, they're gonna have to try and alleviate the storm that is brewing right now, and unfortunately, it's not gonna be that easy.
I just really love how they're playing towards that top lane, man. Constantly giving them gold crabs, and look at that gold lead. 1K between the gold laners.
Pretty big, pretty significant. Man, for TLID, I think they might want to have to start like reacting a bit less and maybe setting up traps. They know Geek Fam are going to be very proactive when it comes down to contesting the clears, the rotations. They might have to really bank on catching one of them in the middle of maybe a cut or an invade.
Well, both teams, either way, they're going to be opening up for the next neutral objective.
Zoning by Audi. Oh, Kevin's going to be pulled back by the Divine Judgment! The choke caught in the Thunder's Wrath, Minion's Fury! But it doesn't do anything. Kenzie slices through him, gets a Sky Piercer stack. Now it's going to be Marcel in the back. Drichel into the wall. AudyTzy's walking up. Marcel just needs one swing. Nazara can't get in range. Aran survives, but it's just the Uranus.
Keven down, taken down by signature pick from AudyTzy. This is looking chaotic. This is looking like a disaster as well. They're going to be able to pick up a turret in the mid side as well. A 3,600 gold lead now being brought in by Geek Fam. TLID, what's the answer now? Do they still look for what you said, a punishing moment?
I think it has to be, because again, if they just wait for a neutral setup where they just look at each other, Geek Fam has so many more ways to start to get the ball rolling. And Audi, again, displaying that even with a different Kaja, it's still, you know, the same instinct, right? Getting the right targets into that ultimate.
But I thought we talked about the Minotaur, you know, the counter engage, the team fight capability of TLID. Is this no longer a factor? Are they behind so much that it's something that they can't execute on?
I think that's it, man. The backline right now isn't really doing so hot.
Oh, pull back onto Drichel. He throws the Astral Echo, but a voice right there with the Thunder's Wrath. It's a Kenzie. Perfect from Geek Fam. A combo straight to send Drichel and Lyoni to the Shadow Realm.
Well, as we were talking about it, right? We're finally seeing it executed, and as it unraveled before us, it seems like Lyoni really didn't have a say in that counter engage. He jumped on nothing, was unable to save Drichel as well. So what's the play? Do they try and bait out the Divine Judgment? How do they do that?
We need to avoid the backline getting caught with the Divine Judgment, but it's a lot easier said than done, especially with all the pressure.
Yeah, back straight into everybody. Thunder's Wrath again. At this point, Kenzie, give your Sky Piercer over to the Eudora, man.
And Audi went straight for the fleeting time. He knows the team has more than enough damage to just burst these members one by one. Both magical and physical damage as well. So Geek Fam, they really have all their bases covered.
This is a 6,000 gold lead in 6 minutes.
Yikes.
1,000 gold lead per minute is what we're seeing right now. And to make the burst even worse, we've seen Nazara pick up his next item as well, the Malefic Roar. Just in case, once again, the Divine Judgment hits onto someone, they're going to be gone at this stage. And they don't have the defense items to protect themselves against it.
At this point, they've taken over the jungle of TLID already. They're leaving their own camps because they know they can take it anytime. Lyoni!
Can he?
No, he can't. Boom, tore apart memory with a Sky Piercer. Marcel in the back. Audi just whipping everybody back into place. Turret gonna be taken by Kennzzy right here. Nope. They still defend it, but it really just seems inevitable. Audi! Oh God! He's already recalling and using that Patrick emote.
That's a Minotaur, by the way. That was a Minotaur, by the way.
Well, then again, it's the Minotaur that I think in theory wants to play more for utility, but he's just forced to frontline right here. Aran, again, is stuck trying to deal with the macro pressure, trying to stave off Marcel. So now the Minotaur has to show himself, and it's a known thing that when the Minotaur is face checking, he's just that much more susceptible to getting bursted down.
So DHS picked up now for KennzyySkie, so an additional item that they have to worry about. Like even Aran, even Lyoni, they're gonna have to think about how they kind of enter these particular team fights, how they enter these certain engages. And we have a We Noticed by GoPay. Kaju is AudyTzy's second best hero throughout his MPL ID career with 11 times picked up and a 72.73% win rate.
Woo.
That's
significant. Impressive.
Especially on an MPL level.
Yes.
Turret has been
Oh
destroyed.
boy. And we thought there was going to be some rust, you know, there was going to be some miscommunication. But man's hitting the ground running, dude. He is just doing so well right now. With that fleeting time rush, he can just keep going for these plays. Is he shot calling as well? Do we have any info on that?
Not yet.
I really feel like they're just all shot calling because it really feels like it's so dynamic the way that they're playing. Hey, they pulled off. I mean, this is still a gamble of a draft, right? You need to play the early game perfectly. But if you play it like this, I gamble every day.
Are there throws in the picture here for this match, though, right? Because, again, with the Novaria and Melissa, the wave here is going to be fine. But, again, the Kaja, right? If you can get the Melissa or the Novaria in that Divine Judgment, you get pulled out of the base, and the backline presence won't matter.
That makes sense. That makes sense. We're looking at a situation where TLID, they do also have, not just for the wave clear, not just for the high ground, but also for the late game. But will it be brought to the late game in the first place? All three lanes are being pushed here. They have a Lord on the way. They're going for this second tier turret as well in the mid lane. It just takes one pull from AudyTzy, one moment. This should be TLID's advantage, though.
Oh, the whip, Keven. Oh, straight into the Thunder's Wrath, and they can't react to it. Nobody else has catch. When Audi goes for the whip, everybody just watches in fear.
Because even Lyoni tried to do something about it earlier on, and he was unable to do anything as well.
Unless the Divine Judgment is used really overextendingly, right, by Audi, there's no way Lyoni can get in position that TLID can mount a fight back. And now with the Lord coming in, this is an angle for Geek, fam. It does seem possible. They have pretty okay C's using the Brody.
Look at the cooldown. AudyTzy's up again.
Yeah, he can go for the ult again. Oh, no, Drichel! Even at the flicker in, his Fury coming down. Let's see the Drichel taken low already. He gets away in time. My boy gonna be taken low, but now the Thunder's Wrath comes around, and the boy is able to survive though against Lyoni. The whole team stays him. A big double for Nazara. The Rigidity gets built up, but it's after he fell. Audi tanking it up. The Star Shatter not doing much. Audi flying by, recalling in the corpse of TLID as they secure game number 1.
In a very swift and decisive fashion at that. 10 minutes